Hamas knows that they can't win by force of arms.
Right.
Hamas is finished. They are dead men.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
They're dead men. Israel will hunt them down until there's not a single man left. That being said, the only way they can win, and I'm putting that in quotes, because there's no win. There's lose and lose more.
Right.
I've said the same thing about Ukraine. He was like, oh, you say Ukraine is going to win. No. Ukraine is going to lose, and Russia is going to lose. The question is who loses more.
You don't think Russia wins if they get the land they wanted?
No, I still consider it a loss because who's going to trade with them?
It's a long time.
How do they get their economy? Because you have these oligarchs, these Russian oligarchs who helped fund this war against Ukraine. They're the ones paying the high taxes. They're the ones getting hit with, I think it's a 22% inflation.
Jeez.
Gas prices in Israel are up to like $1.03 a liter, which might seem cheap to us, but
a liter.
Yeah, you have to do the conversion to rubles. And,
I don't know the conversion.
And it was once like 33 cents
so
for a liter.
Okay.
So like going up like, God, 3 times.
Yeah.
All right. 2 times, 3 times. That's a lot. I'm actually doing some research about that right now. I'm looking at some of the, because Ukraine keeps striking Russian oil facilities. There's 80 Russian oil refineries. And my theory is like every time they strike an oil refinery, does the price of gas go up? So I downloaded all the Russian gas prices week by week, and I'm trying to map every single strike. I know that's what I do.
You're the only one that does that.
I am the only one that does that. You're right. But then I have this intelligence packet.
You could leverage that to make money, I bet, somehow.
Well,
too.
I mean, I do. I mean, I have my Substack. It's only $5 a month, and then when you join my Substack, you get access to all these papers. I just wrote a paper today. Well, not today. I mean, I wrote it 2 months ago, but I just released a video today that was the subject of a paper, or the video was about this paper that I did that was about all of the Russian efforts in Africa, in the Arctic, in the Middle East, because Russia has some bases in the Middle East and they have bases in Africa. They're expanding into the Arctic as global warming heats up and more areas melt, and you have Russian permafrost. You know, like that part of Siberia becomes easier to mine. You know, a lot of natural resources are going to be exposed, and Russia is perfectly positioned to exploit those natural resources.
Interesting.
If they can find the funding to do it, because the funding is going to come inside Russia. Most of their oil extraction equipment is Western. So, okay, they might win. Let's say they do manage to capture Ukraine, which if we're going by square kilometers gained every week, it'll be about 70 years before they take all of it.
Damn, 7 more years.
70.
Oh, 70.
70. That's how slow Russia's
But wars never last that long. So that's...
There's 100 years war.
Really?
You know, like,
Okay,
it was like in the medieval times, but yeah.
Modern wars, I mean, I guess.
No, they don't tend to last that long because I people have asked me how this thing's going to end, Russia and Ukraine. And I've said that it's going to end one of 2 ways. Either Russia fails as a nation because they just physically can't keep up with the war. They can't.
Yeah. With Trump's support, that probably wouldn't happen, though, right?
I don't think Trump supports Russia. Boy.
What a statement right there.
Yeah.
Clip that up.
Yeah, that's a good one. That there's a short for you right there. I don't think Trump supports Russia, but there is a person, an undersecretary of defense for policy. His name is Elbridge Colby. You look at the guy up. Elbridge Colby looks like every guy who ever fired your dad. All right? But he happens to be the undersecretary of defense for policy, and this guy has a raging war boner for China, like bigger than mine. And yeah,
that's hard to do.
That's hard to do. And so that's why, like, remember a couple of months ago, we suddenly stopped all arms shipments to Ukraine, and the president was like, what the hell did you do that for? Yeah. That was Elbridge Colby.
Oh.
He just took it on his own to just
Wow, he had that authority to do that.
It's not that he hates Ukraine, it's that he really hates China, and to him, every single weapon system we send over to China every single weapon system we send over to Ukraine is one less we can use against China. That's one of the reasons, like, there's a lot of YouTubers doing all these videos about, we're going to invade Venezuela. I'm like, oh my God. Over Elbridge Colby's dead freaking body, are we invading Venezuela?
Yeah.
That would take so many resources, so many missiles that we just don't have.
Yeah, we got to save it for China.
We got to save it for China. And we might we fired a Hellfire at one Tren de Agua fast boat, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Hellfire is $60,000.
Damn, just for one missile?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I've often said, whenever you see someone firing a Javelin anti-tank missile, I want you to imagine dropping a Ferrari from a building like in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Roughly how much it costs.
Okay, so that's the first way you could see it ending. Russia fails. What was the second way?
Yeah, so the first way, Russia fails as a nation. They collapse, and you have a bunch of warlords fighting each other in Russia, and that's how Ukraine gets back Crimea and the Donbass.
Mm-hmm.
This number two is there is some sort of peace plan put into place. Russia doesn't get Crimea back. They don't get the Donbass back. There's peacekeepers in Donbass, maybe for non-aligned nations like Myanmar, right? They can send troops. Or Brazil, they might send troops to be on the border. And then you have like almost like the multinational force and observers in Israel and Egypt, where you have an A zone, a B zone, and a C zone, and you're allowed 1,000 troops in the A zone and 10,000 troops in the B zone. The C zone is whatever. That's the other way I see it ending, with some sort of negotiated settlement. Ukraine doesn't get everything they want, and Russia doesn't get everything they want. I actually believe that second option is most likely. I don't necessarily see Ukraine getting Crimea back unless Russia collapses. It's a bridge too far.
Yeah.
There is one narrow land strip going into Crimea. It would have to be an amphibious operation. Amphibious operations are hard. And Ukraine just doesn't have the troops to make a breakthrough like that. They are working on like robotic assault vehicles. So like maybe they send
self-driving or?
Yeah. So commanded by a person now. So essentially there was I think back in December, there was a National Guard unit, Ukrainian National Guard unit, that sent these killer robots into a Russian position. They were actually able to shoot, and they captured people with a robot, and they were guided by people with joystick controllers. And the robot would send data up to a drone that was hovering, and that drone was acting as a relay station to
holy crap
that signal. So yeah, they had an all drone attack. It was mainly small wheeled drones using PKs, which are a machine gun, a medium machine gun.
So these drones were shooting guns?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow. I need to see a video of that.
Yeah, I can show you.
That's crazy. Absolutely, so that's the future war right there.
Well, that and drone swarms. So Ukraine has already worked on drones where they have a spotter drone and they have two killers. So it's a hunter-killer.
What?
Yeah, and these. So oh my God, it's a copy of the show. The Ceph. The Ceph drone already has a programming controller where you say, okay, I want you to fly to this area. I want you to look for a tank. If you can't find a tank, I want you to find an armored personnel carrier. If you can't find an armored personnel carrier, try to find a command vehicle. And so the drone is using AI pattern matching, image recognition.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
Oh, there's a tank. Okay. Now, the next phase to that is you have a controller and you have two attack drones. And these two attack drones are like, all right, what are we looking for? And the controller goes, all right, well, we're going to try to find this thing. If we can't find it, we find this thing. And so the two attack drones hit their targets, and the controller flies back and lands.
That is nuts. Is there a way to disable those at the moment, or
no? The funny thing is that for the most part, once you start an AI program, there's no
you can't turn it off.
You can't turn it off.
Holy crap!
You can use something like a semaphore. So you might show like a visual representation of a letter or a character, and that'll let you know get on program. And then when you see this other character, okay, off program. And you need that to, like, let's say you launch these drones from a certain location and they're supposed to come back to another location to land, but that location is compromised. You might put panels there that spell out a letter.
Yeah.
So the thing reads that letter and goes, oh, I have to go to the secondary site. Because as soon as you put a radar, or as soon as you put a radio on something, it can be jammed or it can be hacked.
Yeah. That's what I was wondering. If someone was sending a drone to the U.S., could we disable it, I guess, remotely somehow with jamming or something? Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode.